Hello and welcome to All About Billings. We are a show dedicated to discovering the people that make Billings a great place to work and live. We will interview local business people, entrepreneurs, artists, entertainers, and community leaders and learn from their successes, their failures, and their connection to Billings. I'm your host, Nancy Brook, broker and owner at Billings Best Real Estate. And today it's my pleasure to introduce our guest, Michelle Harkins, who is the Executive Director of the Billings Industrial Revitalization District, also known as the Bird. So Michelle, a little bit of background on Michelle. She was born and raised in Western Pennsylvania, and she had an adventurous spirit, and I know she's even hiked internationally, so we'll hear a little bit about that. But 15 years ago, she ended up in Montana. She attended the University of Montana, where she graduated with a master's degree in accountancy. And she fell in love with the state. I think she didn't want to head back east, so she decided to stay in Montana. She ended up in Billings, and she is now in charge of developing our community through her work at the Bird. And let's welcome Michelle. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Well, so tell us a little bit about your growing up years. You've said you had an adventurous spirit.
Yeah.
Tell us how that started.
Yeah, so a lot of that comes from just my family. I grew up with an extremely close-knit family, cousins, just extended family. We spent a lot of time on the rivers in Pittsburgh, boating, exploring, hiking paths, making cabins and secret hideaways in the woods, and they just really instilled in me the love of nature and the love of community and love of family, and also the love of giving back from a very young age. My mom and dad just really loved helping the community that they were involved in, just giving back and seeing where the need was and being able to contribute to that. So I always kind of had that as something I wanted to do. And I think when I had other career ambitions before I joined the nonprofit sector, there was always something missing. And so when I found it, my spirit, my cup was finally full, and I found what my passion was, and it really helped me love what I do today and be able to put my whole heart into it. But yeah, I love going on adventures. So even today, my husband and I, when we have our trips together, because we have 7-year-old twins, so of course we have to have vacations that are suitable for them and us. So when we go on our trips, just my husband and I, we go and, hike through across glacier, or canoe and hike through Yellowstone National Park. We go hike in the Tetons, and then a year and a half ago we went and hiked Kilimanjaro. So it's just really fun to keep exploring and keep that active spirit, because it helps to drive you to keep getting outdoors and push your kids to do things like that, and just really appreciate everything that's around you.
Well, so what led you to Montana to begin with? Because people from Pennsylvania, their natural inclination is, hey, I think I'm going to go to Montana and attend the University of Montana. Maybe I'm wrong.
No. Yeah, that's a completely reasonable question. So, yeah, like I said, I always enjoyed being outdoors. I started dating my husband, and we met in Nashville, Tennessee. I know that's another city that's randomly pulled into this, and he's from Atlanta. So we were long distance for a little while, but we moved to the same city in Ocoee, where they had the '96 Olympics for whitewater rafting, and we worked for a whitewater rafting company there. So it was great, living in the woods, being around the water. And we decided that we wanted to move someplace and have an adventure of our own together, and just live life. And he was really interested in ice climbing. And so we were looking at some places in Colorado, some places in Montana. And the more we looked at Montana, we just fell in love with the possibilities and the idea and the lifestyle we could have. So at that point, we picked up and we moved to Bozeman to ice climb and climb in Highlight Canyon. So we spent some time there in the winters and headed back to the Ocoee River to work there in the summers. So we were just living a very adventurous lifestyle at that point.
Sure.
And then since we fell in love with Montana, he continued on to law school at the University of Montana, and that's where I got my master's degree in accountancy.
Okay.
And then when we completed that, we both got jobs here in Billings that we were both very, very excited for. He is now a partner at Crowley Fleck, where he interned and then got a job. And then there's me. I've been happily bebopping around a few places, but it has given me such a variety of experience and connections all throughout the community. And just, like I said, a variety of different things that has shaped me into who I am today professionally that I wouldn't have gotten any other way. And the knowledge that I have now is such a grouping that I appreciate so much in my day-to-day activities as the ED at the Bird.
Sure.
Because I pull from all of it in different avenues of my job.
Well, so I'm sure a lot of people aren't familiar with the Bird.
Okay. Yeah, no, yes.
So let's hear a little bit more about what the Bird is and how that helps develop the community in Billings.
Yeah, so the Bird is the Billings Industrial Revitalization District. It is a 501c6, which is a membership organization structured much like a chamber of commerce. So we're there to serve our members, and our members are within our boundaries, which is from, 22nd Street, where Thirsty Street Garage is, the food bank, the whole way over to the main street by the Metra, and then from Montana Ave to around 7th Avenue, so past 6th, and it includes North Park. So that's the area, the district that I help oversee. And we have an MOU with the city, so we oversee the tax increment financing, the TIF funds for the city in that district, which we refer to as the eBird, the East Billings Urban Renewal District.
Okay.
So that's the district, the eBird, and then the Bird is the 501c6 that oversees the district. So, what TIF is in 2007, a base tax was established for that district. So any tax that goes up, like the property tax, stays in that district to help improve that district. So we can put money into like the blighted properties, community enhancements, infrastructure like roads, sidewalks, alleys, lighting, like hawk crossing signals. We can put it into parks. We can put it into demolition of properties that are fallen down. We can also put it into brand new projects and economic development for the community. But everyone in our district is paying what they would pay in taxes if they were in the district or not. You are not charged extra taxes for living in a TIF district, but at the same time, if there is a levy or something put on, say for police or a school district, they still get that money from the district. It's just the increase in property taxes. Whereas if you live in, say, the Heights or another area, they would go wherever needed. But ours stay in just our area, since our area is seen as blighted and needing a helping hand.
Okay. Well, I have seen a lot of, let's say, development happening in North Park. I mean, we do see a lot of people who own houses who are renovating, fixing them up, whether they live there or rent.
Yeah.
And then I've also noticed some new businesses starting to pop up. So is that part of what this whole revitalization district is about?
Yes. So we promote housing, green technology, mom and pop businesses that are already there. We help them with improving the property they have. We also help businesses that already exist move into the district, businesses that want to open up. We help with all of that. We help them resources that are in the community, such as loan programs, business development. We help them get to the right resources they need. But yeah, with TIF financing, that's what it's all there, is for economic growth, stability, and to really help this renewal and revitalization district get back to what we know it can be. Because at the core of it, it is right next to downtown, and it has the potential to add so much to the community, more than it already has. And I think that is something that a lot of people might not see about the eBird, is there is so much historic elements down there, especially if you look into the Western style and the agriculture that is one of the big cultural influences in the Billings community. We have Buckaroo Business, Swanky Saddles, the Rich Rand is down there. We have the original Shipton's Big R. We have Western Ranch Supply. Some very big staples and well-known businesses. Montana Leather's down there, Al's Bootery. Like very big Western staples in our community that have been around for generations. And they're there in the eBird, like running very successful businesses, and these people are amazing. We have Wilcoxon's Ice Cream down there where you can go and get ice cream. And then you have new businesses that are either there or growing or still building. Thirsty Street Garage is down there, which is an extremely successful brewery and event space in Billings. We have 1889, which is a brand new brewery that it was a TIF project, and it's going to be opening up in September.
Okay.
Undammed Distilling Co. that used to rent from Thirsty Street bought their own building, so they're getting to hire staff, have their own tasting room, their own building. So you see a business that was just started a few years ago who rented a space that grew enough in the eBird to buy their own property, invest in it, and grow. And that's what we love to see. You're getting to see that entrepreneurial spirit and that growth. And that's what we love to foster in our community. And you get that there.
So tell us how the TIFs work. So somebody has an idea, how are they able to access funds for this?
So you come into the eBird, so I'll just walk you through. So 1889, Brewing Co. or Undammed Distillery. So they wanted to open a business or expand. So they come and talk to us sometimes before they even have the property. And they're like, this is my idea, this is what I want to do. And if they haven't bought the property yet, we can talk to them, their realtor, their contractor.
You might know some opportunities that aren't currently on the market.
Yeah, we might know some properties that are coming on the market, some that are listed. If they don't have a real estate agent, we can give them a list of a few that know of some stuff going on in the eBird, help them in any way they can.
Sure.
But we can also let them know, so we have an eBird code, and so different things are allowed on our main street than our light industrial district or our central works district. So say you're wanting to do a mixed use building. I can be like, that would work really well on our main street. But if you just want to do residential, I'd be like, stay off our main street and go to central works. So that can depict where you buy property depending what you want to make and what you want to build. So I can help you with that. All of this is listed on our website under our code. So our master plan is listed on there, and we can discuss that. But I can help with that. Then I can also walk you through our TIF application. So say you're building a brand new structure, and you come to us and you're like, I want to apply for a TIF, and you already have your property, you already know it fits code. So we would walk through the application, and you would need to know your budget, basically a breakdown of every expense. I would walk through you and tell you what is TIF eligible, what is not. And then basically you are eligible for up to 16.67% of your budget. So say your entire project cost $100,000. You can get up to $16,667, but they all have to be TIF eligible expenses.
Sure.
So if you only have $5,000 worth of TIF eligible expenses, that's the max you can get, even though it's not the 16.67%, which is every $5 you spend, we can give you $1.
So what sort of things are eligible?
Yeah, so demolition and abatement. So if you have a blighted building that's going to fall down and you want to take it down and build a new one, or abatement. So say there is mold, asbestos, there was drug use on the property that you need to get rid of to make it habitable. If there's a relocation of tenants, a lot of people just saw that downtown when DBA helped move the antique mall to their new location. So that was one of the first cases of that in Montana, actually. Landscaping and green space. We do fencing. If the parking lot can be used for public access and off hours of the business, we will help pay for that. We help with utilities, private and public, from the service to the exterior of the building. So most of the stuff you're seeing where they're helping with is on the exterior of the building.
I see.
Yeah, because it's benefiting the whole community and not just you. So when we upgrade the utilities, we're upgrading the utilities so that people down the road will have upgraded utilities as well. But yeah, there's like 15 main items that we can help with. You know, we also help with sidewalks, curbs, and gutters, and things like that. We have a whole list on our website, billingsbird.com, where you can email me, and we also post frequently about them on our social media pages. But yeah, it's amazing work. We also help with facades, so the frontage of buildings, windows and doors and stuff like that, security measures, lighting. We want everyone, I know like crime and safety is very important to the community right now, so that's extremely important to us. I am a working adult. I have a family. I have kids. I manage people, and that is very important to me, that everyone in my life feels safe. So it's important to me that anyone coming to me or that works or lives in the eBird has that same feeling about their families, their coworkers, their employees, or their families.
Yeah, that makes sense. And you know, crime has definitely been on the uptick in Billings and all areas of Billings. Is that something that is able to, I guess, transform when people do more development in an area? Are you finding that? Yeah. I mean, because if houses aren't abandoned, I would imagine it would improve the crime rate.
So I am a crime prevention through environmental design professional. I went through the 40-hour course that the chamber put on, and you learn so much about just how your environment around you can affect crime measures in the community. So one thing that you learn is active spaces. Like when you have activation in spaces, it reduces crime. So what we're really trying to do is have more community events. So last year you saw that we had brought the Renaissance Fair back. We had the cattle drive. We participated in the women's run. And then this year we've already started to expand. You know, we had Nest Fest, was a free community day for families in the community where, you know, literally they showed up. There was crafts, art tents, mini cows. You know, we had a lemonade stand, food vendors, the rock climbing wall from Steep World was there. We had face painting, balloon art, bands, kids bands playing all day, and so many other things. But it was just a day that things you usually would have to pay for, except for the food trucks, those you didn't have to pay for. But like other things, families could just come and enjoy them and not have to pay. And that was just one way we give back to the community, especially the ones that live around the eBird. But we're also having a Wild West Walls Mural Festival this year.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, so for 4 days, September 5th through the 8th, we are trying to activate like usually mist and dark areas of the community. So, you know, sidewalls of building, alleyways, places that might be hit usually by graffiti or where unwanted activity occurs. We are activating it by wanted activity, things that are going to be place-making things that, you know, you hear a lot about by Big Sky Economic Development's Space to Place grant and what they're trying to accomplish there. We are taking the momentum they have and we're trying to expand that by creating more spaces in the community that create places to be. So in that 4 days, we're putting up almost 20 murals in the eBird, and we have tremendous artists. So we're taking those spaces that people usually might not want to gather or visit, and we're making them stunning pieces of artwork for the community. So we're creating a huge impact of color, culture, diversity, and just artwork in this beautiful way to try to make the community safer.
So have you seen things change since you've been with the bird?
Yeah.
I mean, just in terms of the community and people living there and working there.
Well, I like to think so. So we have hotspot maps done for the community when it comes to safety and crime measures. And so North Park, the northeast corner, used to have the biggest, brightest red dot on it for being a hotspot for crime. So I have a map that shows for the last year. And there is that dot there. And then I asked for one for the last 6 months. while there's still activity going on there, there's not enough to even put any shade of red in North Park. They've all shifted. And, you know, I keep in communication with those businesses, like, what can we do to reduce the crime that's happening here now? How do we put in measures to try to divert that? And that's what we do. You know, we don't just eliminate crime from one area and be like, we did our job, we're done. So what I'm doing now is, okay, we moved it from there, because this park is supposed to be a safe haven for kids, for families. It's supposed to be a place they can go if they're in a dangerous situation, that they're gonna be okay. And you know, when we were growing up, that's what a park was, and it kind of shifted into another realm this day and age. And I want to shift it back. Like, a park is a safe place, and so the park's getting better, and we are continuing to do work there. But now it's kind of shifted to other properties, and so talking to those property owners, we are in talks with streets and traffic and engineering to see, you know, if we have one alley we kind of want to shut down where we see a lot of stuff happening, and we're going through the motions to see like what we can do and going through the steps, because we want to get that one shut down. It's just a small one, but it is a central hub where people are seeing things happen. And the thing is the business owners approached me about it before I even went to them. So we're starting to see that activity where, you know, people aren't getting frustrated anymore, that they're actually approaching us and being like, you're doing stuff, you have momentum, I see what's changing. Let's work on this next. I'm having these issues. This is what I want to do. Let's solve them together. And that's what I love. Collaboration, the commitment, the energy, the passion to make things better. You know, because no one ever gets anything done on their own. It takes a community, it takes collaboration, and that's what I love, when the community members in the eBird and Billings as a whole are like, I want to do this together, or how can we do this together? Everything's a together effort, and it's not like, can you do this, or I'm going to do this, this is mine. It's just that group collaborative effort, and it makes us so strong.
So what do you think it will take to get, because I know I've seen in other cities where certain areas of town all of a sudden become in vogue because, like, it's got a great location, North Park does, and we see some things transitioning, and then there's some properties that are still in need of
help.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what do you think it'll take to get to that next level?
Yeah. So the park, it's transforming. We raised funds, the community. It was like total community effort. We did get a grant from Parks and Rec for helping pay for the water line. And so that was really helpful, but everything else was completely community funded. For the dog park we added to North Park, the disc golf course, and some other additives. And currently we're raising funds to fix up the courts. So we'd be adding 2 regulation basketball courts and 4 pickleball courts, adding lighting and making sure that they're safe for the kids in the community. Because right now there's grass growing up through them, and the lighting is not that great. And if anyone goes over there, those things are used constantly, day in and day out. But yeah, there's a lot of momentum right now around the eBird. There's things, businesses coming in. We were talking right before this started. This past week, I got 3 new TIF applications, all for businesses. 2 of them are fixing up current businesses, which I love because they're feeling the momentum. They're like, I want to get involved in this. I want to make sure that my business is staying up to date. My business is involved in the momentum and involved in the revitalization, and I want to be a part of it. One is for a brand new groundbreaking of a business that exists in Billings that wants to be part of this community, that wants to be part of the neighborhood. And those things excite me. And then we have 3 currently in the works, that are in the construction phase. And I think this momentum is just starting, if you want me to be honest.
Yeah.
Because I also have probably 5 that are in the architectural phases. So it is just this continuing thing that I think we just broke the ground on the momentum in this community. We are also applying for a $20 million grant that got approved by City Council for us to apply for on Monday evening. and it is focused on the eBird community.
Wow.
So with that grant, we would be finishing and updating all the ADA sidewalk access and ramps. We would be completing all the sidewalks in the core of the eBird and repairing them because some of them are in disarray. We would be doing protected bike lanes because downtown is going to construct theirs the whole way down there, the two-way protected bike lane. We would be continuing that the whole way through the eBird, plus adding bike lanes on 13th and 20th, which are our main streets. And then a great thing we're excited about doing is the 13th one would go the whole way to 6th, where we have a giant hawk signal. But we're also going to continue that bike lane to connect the whole way to the Heights and up to the path on the rims. So that is something we're doing in engineering and is working very close with MDT. So that is just a connectivity that we don't currently have right now. So the Heights, eBird, downtown will all be connected, and we're just really excited to help connect that bike trail and have that connectivity in Billings. We would also be hoping to get a new community center and resiliency hub at North Park. So it would just increase the activities that we'd be able to offer the community at no charge.
That's
and
awesome.
It is so amazing. The community needs resources. It needs free resources.
Well, and a lot of people who live in North Park, I know, don't have cars. I mean, people just maybe walk downtown and do their business, their banking, go to the library. I mean, there are elderly people that do that, people who are probably disabled who do that.
Yes.
So it's really nice to hear that you're making it a little more accessible.
Yeah, and everything we do in North Park is completely ADA accessible.
Right.
All the water fountains, we're putting them in. The dog parks have dog height ADA and standard water height. All the gates we have are ADA accessible. All the concrete we're extending to make sure that they have access. We just want to make sure that it is fun for everyone that wants access to the park, that they have the ability to do so. And the last thing we're doing is we are going to do affordable housing with that grant, for sale and for rent, because that is what people are needing right now, and there's need for that and Billings. So we're really trying to cover, economic growth, community outreach, transportation, green technology, housing, and we're trying to cover it all in this grant to hit the needs of the community and what they want. And the fun thing is next Wednesday, from 5:30 to 7, we are going to have pizza at the Red Ox Lawn outside the New Bird office, and you can come see plans and kind of give your opinion on some of the stuff we're doing for this grant.
Well, that's great. Well, and before we wrap up, I want to hear from you. How would you describe in one sentence the future of Billings?
Hopeful and positive. I am a Billings fanatic, and I'm an eBird fanatic. I really believe in the group of people that are passionate and coming up with all the ideas. There's been a resurgence in the last 3 to 4 years in Billings, and there's been such a positive group of people that want to do good in this community. And I think if we just, get together, give them a voice, and let people follow their passion, there's going to be amazing things that are happening in this community.
Well, it is sure, I guess, just an amazing transformation that you're talking about with all the things that have gone on in Billings, in the Bird District, the East Bird District. Folks, thank you so much for joining us. I'm your host, Nancy Brooke, with Billings Best Real Estate, and we hope to see you next time on All About Billings.